This is an amazing story. The Boeing, you know, the whole situation with Boeing is well, it's in the news today because the 3 different whistleblowers just testified before Congress that Boeing has basically put subordinated safety to profits. Now, that's kind of wild when you consider that Boeing, since 2014, has shown over $95 billion in profits. But what have they done with that money? They bought back their own stock. When you buy back stock, you remove stock from the market. You buy it back and retire it, and it vanishes from the marketplace, which means that the remaining stock increases in price or arguably in value. You know, if you had 100 shares in a company, say you and I started a company and we issued 100 shares of stock, and you have 10 shares, and I have 10 shares, and the general public has 80 shares, and the shares are worth $100 a piece. If we were to retire 20 shares, if we were just to go into the marketplace and, you know, in the stock market and buy back 20 shares and then get rid of them, our company now, instead of having 100 shares at $100 a piece, you know, worth $10,000, it would have 80 shares, which would be worth $125 a piece. So what we did is we just raised the price of the stock from $100 to $125 without doing any of the things that companies normally do to increase the price of their stock. Normally, companies increase the value of their stock by developing new products, opening new stores, building new factories, paying their employees better and giving them better benefits to increase productivity and reduce turnover. You know, this is just the straightforward stuff that companies have been doing ever since Queen Elizabeth I created the modern corporation when she chartered the East India Company on December 31st, 1600. I mean, this is just, you know, this is the way it's always been. But, you know, when the stock market crashed in 1929, it was in part largely because of stock price manipulation. There were pump and dump schemes, and there were stock buybacks and all kinds of things. So FDR put Joe Kennedy in charge of the SEC, saying it takes a crook to catch a crook, and Joe Kennedy outlawed stock buybacks. Well, in '82, Ronald Reagan undid that, and they're now legal. And so Boeing has bought back over $60 billion worth of its own shares. None of that money, you know, none of that $60 billion had anything to do with safety. And instead, it all went to the shareholders, which includes all the senior executives who are principally compensated with stock. This is just a scam, and it's a scam that virtually every company on all 3 exchanges, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P, are playing on an annual basis. And it's destroying the business landscape of America, and it keeps wages down, and it's making unsafe airplanes. You can read all about it over at HartmannReport.com today.